Hey, can I be honest with you for a second? I've spent the last 35 years figuring some things out the hard way. And honestly, I wish someone had just sat me down and told me this stuff straight. So, I'm going to be that person for you right now. These are 10 brutally honest lessons that I wish I learned earlier. They would have saved me years of pain. 1. Your mindset shapes your reality. Your brain is basically Google. If you keep typing in, "I'm not good enough," guess what? It'll show you proof all day, but start searching for "what's possible for me?" And everything shifts. Same brain. Better questions. Wildly different results. 2. No one is coming to save you. I used to think someone would show up. A mentor, a partner, some magical opportunity. They didn't. Life is kind of like being stuck in the middle of nowhere with no signal. You either wait forever, or you build your own damn tower. Yeah, it's hard, but at least you're not waiting. Hope is passive. Action is power. 3. Discipline beats motivation. Motivation is exciting. That's why it feels like progress. You watch an inspiring video, write a plan, maybe even buy a planner, and your brain's like, "Nice, we crushed it." But you didn't. You just got high on potential. Motivation feels like movement, but it's mental confetti. Discipline? It's showing up when you don't feel like it. Writing when you're not inspired. Saying no when it's inconvenient. But discipline is boring, yeah. Effective? Absolutely. Because boring builds, boring compounds, and boring wins. 4. Small improvements. Actually work, even when they feel pointless. I thought I had to change my life overnight. Burn the ships, 10x everything. But real change, it's quieter than that. It looks like doing something tiny every day. Until one day, you're miles ahead and didn't even notice. 1% better each day sounds lame, until you realize that math makes you 37 times better in a year. That's not hype. That's compounding all your small improvements. I've never talked about this before, but this next lesson, it nearly crushed me. Hitting rock bottom wasn't the end. It was just the start of something unexpected. 5. The day I almost quit. A few years ago, I poured everything into a project. Time, money, relationships, sleep. I believed in it so deeply I didn't even consider failure an option. But failure showed up anyway, loud, public, and brutal. I remember sitting in my car after it all collapsed, staring at the steering wheel, numb. I thought, maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe I'm just done. But something strange happened. In that silence, I started asking better questions. Not why me, but what now? That moment didn't end me. It redirected me. Now, I look back at that failure with gratitude because it taught me what no success ever could. Here's what I've learned since then. We face failures all the time. Big ones, quiet ones, the kind that only we know about. But those moments, they don't define who you are. How you respond to them does. Failure isn't a wall, it's a fork in the road. One path leads to staying bitter, stuck in the past. The other leads to growth, learning, adapting, rising. Choose the path that moves you forward. 6. You don't have to be confident to take action. I used to think confident people just had something I didn't. They walked into rooms like they belonged there. They spoke like they weren't afraid of being wrong. Meanwhile, I'd rehearse conversations in my head 50 times and still bail at the last second. But here's what no one tells you. Confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first. Confidence is just a side effect of doing scary things badly until you don't flinch anymore. You don't build confidence in your head. You build it by showing up when you feel shaky, by speaking up when your voice trembles, by trying and sometimes failing and realizing you survived. So, if you're waiting to feel ready before you start, stop waiting. Take the step. Confidence will catch up. 7. Don't let the wrong people shape your life. I was surrounded by people who loved comfort, and guess what I did? Stayed comfortable. You don't just spend time with people. Their values start to influence yours. Complainers pull you into problems. Cynics make growth feel foolish. Builders make progress feel normal. So, find people who think like you, dream like you, and push you to be better. Because your circle is either fueling your goals or feeding your doubts. Choose your circle like your future depends on it, because it does. 8. Health is the foundation for everything. I used to think I could just power through anything. Long nights, skipped meals, back-to-back stress. Until my body finally said, nope, we're done here. You can't outwork poor sleep. You can't outrun a bad diet. You can't build your dream life in a body that's falling apart. Sleep, food, movement, rest. They sound basic, but they're the base of everything else. Your focus, your energy, your ability to show up. You're not a machine, you're a living system. And how you treat yourself shows up in everything you do. Take care of yourself like someone you're responsible for. Without your health, everything else eventually crumbles. 9. Money is not the target. I used to chase money like it was the missing piece, the thing that would finally make everything feel right. But here's what I learned the hard way. More money didn't solve my problems. It just made them easier to ignore. The real shift happened when I stopped seeing money as the goal and started using it as a lever, because that's what money really is, a tool to create options, to buy back your time, to walk away from things that drain you, to say yes to what matters, and no without guilt. Used well, money doesn't just add things to your life, it removes what doesn't belong, so don't chase money for its own sake. Use it to build a life that feels free, calm, and aligned with who you are. Money isn't the point, it's the lever that lifts what matters. 10. No one has it all figured out. I used to think that one day I'd reach a point where everything made sense, where I'd finally feel like I knew what I was doing. Turns out, life doesn't really work like that. Every stage of life brings new questions, new challenges, new unknowns, and everyone, no matter how successful, how put together they seem, is still figuring things out as they go. We're all just trying, learning, adapting, messing up, and trying again. So, if you feel lost, uncertain, behind, you're not broken, you're human. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to keep going with curiosity, honesty, and virtue. That's it. 10 brutally honest lessons I wish I'd learned sooner. Growth isn't about having it all figured out. It's about staying in motion, curious, honest, brave enough to keep going, start messy, stay consistent. Your future self will thank you for it.